She is the water warrior that we all need, fighting corruption, fighting for transparency and water ownership, and just doing a damn good job as a journalist. I mean, God, it's such a sad state of affairs when you have Helen Dalton MP there questioning local local members and ex-councillors because the local media down there in Narrandera are either too lazy or too scared to do their job properly. Helen, good morning.
Good morning.
You'd make a good journo, water warrior.
I don't know. I think that's not really my forte.
Well, I disagree. I saw the video. We played it yesterday on the program, Helen. Damn good job. A very, very good job. You were speaking, of course, to the former councillor from Narrandera Shire Council, Mr. Hall, and you were basically suggesting that he was pushed out. I mean, I've had a look here at your letter you've written, and I've gone through it in an editorial just before we spoke to you. I mean, your letter to the Independent Commission Against Corruption on October 27 is pretty clear. You want an inquiry into what the hell's going on with this rail line.
That's right, and that's, of course, in Narrandera. So I've asked the ICAC to investigate apparent blackmail threat to this Narrandera Shire councillor, Wes Hall, over a confidential New South Wales government rail study. So the study was done, and that was a couple of years ago, and basically we've been silenced. The government put in $500,000 into this rail study, and they won't release the findings.
Sorry, Helen, can I just stop you there? The government put in diddly squat. New South Wales taxpayers, ratepayers, me, everybody listening who goes to work every day to earn money and pay tax and pay exorbitant stamp duties and all the rest of it, pay for your rego, pay for your licence, pay this, pay that. We paid for the study, not the state government.
We absolutely did. And this is for the rail line between Narrandera and Tokemwal to look at whether it was feasible to reopen it so that farmers could get their goods onto this train, and it's faster and cheaper and more efficient, and get their goods onto the train down to Melbourne to be exported.
That's right, and when the government finally spent $500,000 on this thing, they hid it. I mean, I can't believe that we allow legislators of whatever persuasion to spend $500,000 taxpayers' money on a feasibility study and then refuse to release the findings of it. Well, what's the point of spending the money in the first place?
No, well, that's true. And so it was the Deputy Premier, John Barilaro, and the local Cootamundra local member, Steph Cook, refused to release this study. And we just want to have a look at it. And I believe Wes Hall, the councillor who was involved, said he had a quick look at one stage. He was given it for only a short time, and said there was really nothing confidential or controversial in that report, and we needed to have a good look at it.
Well, absolutely. Can we get a copy of it through Freedom of Information, Helen? Or?
I'm trying to chase it up.
Okay.
I think we're going to do what they call a standing order and try and get the government to release that, because we have asked and they refuse to release it. And I just can't understand why, when, as you say, it is our money and it's a feasibility report.
Yeah. I'm going to try and speak to Mr. Hall on the program probably tomorrow, Helen, as we continue to dig further into this. I mean, you're right. We should be able to see what this report said. I can't understand why we have people in government who are unwilling to assist those in country areas with what is the most economically viable way of transporting their goods to market, to be exported. I mean, isn't that in everybody's best interest? Why on earth would they not go ahead and allow investment into this railway line?
That's right. It doesn't make sense, but Wes Hall, the councillor, he's a great bloke, and after all the pressure put on him, and he was on this committee within the council, and basically he was stood down from that committee, and he then a year later resigned from the council because he he was just so disappointed and shocked at their behaviour. And he'd been on the Narrandera Shire Council for 11 years and given great service. So he was very disappointed and shocked at the way he was treated.
All right, but I've got some other correspondence here that I've received from your office in relation to the mayor, Mr. Koshenka. Now, did he threaten Mr. Hall essentially to, just shut up, would you? I mean, the more you speak, Mr. Hall, the more likely that Barra and Cook won't give us any money.
That's right, and that's the way the National Party keep everyone in line, is to say, well, if you speak out about this, we'll look at the funding and we may, we may withdraw that funding. And even John Barilaro in Parliament, he threatened Philip Donato, the member for Orange, and said, do you want that Parks sports precinct? He was talking about something over there. So if I were you, basically saying, be quiet, otherwise I'll withdraw the funding.
But it's not his money.
No, that's right.
It's not Barilaro, Bruz, whatever the hell we want to call him these days. It's not your money, John.
No, it's not.
I'm sick to death of this
somehow
rubbish.
They haven't worked that out. It's money from hardworking taxpayers.
Is it any wonder that friggin' documents in the Premier's office in New South Wales are being shredded left, right and centre when we got people like this bloke, Barilaro, threatening local constituents with a lack of funding if they don't toe the line? I mean, what the hell are we running here, Helen? Are we running a democracy or are we in China?
Oh, well, it's certainly not a democracy. But, this behaviour has been endemic for a long, long time, and we've almost got used to it, where we just sort of take the scraps of money when we can get them. If we don't, if we're good boys and girls out there, we may get a little bit more money. It's just sort of been this unwritten rule, and it's just so wrong, and it's so corrupt.
Well, it is, absolutely. And look, you keep fighting, Helen, because you have my support, you have Jordan's support, and I tell you what, there's a groundswell. You mightn't have Murdoch's support. We won't read about any of this rubbish in the Telegraph today because they're running a protection racket for them, and I'm sick to death of it. Helen, thank you. We'll continue our fight.
Thanks so much for your time.
Anytime. All right, thanks, Helen. There she is, Murray MP Helen Dalton.